Hi, this is Justin with an updated video about fraud in Montgomery County specifically, and I'm going to get into the details of it. I'm trying to fix my camera position. Um, Listen, all of those messages that I just sent out were the results of a stress response and a type of disassociation to PTSD and stress response, and related to paperwork that I was looking over from the case manager, the new one, before I signed it. And because we were looking at a CRR placement where I can go out into the community, and the fraudulent notes that I was reading was stressing me out, and that's why I sent out all of those messages. And it is a result of the clinical lead supervisor that's doing this type of fraud. I'm not going to get into specific terms, but the actual classification that this type of fraud is in. But if you see what's going on, she put on the paper that I don't, unless I'm in a hospital setting, I have non-compliance with medication, and that's completely fraud. I was going to outpatient myself when I wasn't even on probation. And when I was visiting my girlfriend in Wisconsin, I was going to outpatient out there. Before I went back on probation for my DUI, I was already at an outpatient place. I told them I just changed locations. I left the one program because they deliver meds to your door every day, and that's annoying. And I signed into a different outpatient program. That's all I did. And so I told her that her information about me not taking medication is not true at all. And then she says something like, well, I was under the impression, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that you want to smoke marijuana without your medication. And I said, no, that's not what I was saying at all. But even though I'm not going to argue the legality in the human rights with that, because even the rehab side of this place, I mean, those people in rehab, they want to go get their medical marijuana cards and as an alternative to their previous addiction. And this place, even on that side, is completely against medical marijuana, and they're strictly pushing psychopharmaceutical neuroleptics on people and sending them to other programs. And the other thing that was on his paper was that I wanted to have my own cannabis growing company. And I was like, that's not true at all. I didn't say, I said I wanted to work I wanted to earn my degree at Cannabis Training University, and I wanted to get a job at the cultivation facility packaging the marijuana. Now, after I thought about that more, that's only half true. Because after packaging utensils in the other place and seeing how boring that was, and seeing that they had the radio on, at the cannabis dispensary, I don't know what the structure of the place, the environment looks like, but if they sit there and package cannabis and listen to the radio all day, I don't even want to work in there. I really don't, because after being through all of that, I don't think he wants to be around the radio. I can't even stand being in my room half the time because my roommate has this anime music playing on his tablet or any type of music. I like meditating in quietness and like without any music on. Even when we go over to the workout room, I didn't go earlier because there was a girl going at that time that I knew was going to put on music. And I like to work out without the radio on, without any music playing. So I'm saying if they have any music playing when they're packaging their cannabis, like I'm gonna sit there and have to listen to that shit while I'm packaging marijuana. I don't know. I mean, I would imagine they don't sit there in silence and package the cannabis. I would imagine there's some form of entertainment going on, or it would be a very boring job. Do you know what I mean? But so it's up in the air. So I don't know if I want to pursue that type of career. It's just something that I thought about. But sitting there packaging marijuana for hours a day might actually get pretty boring. Do you know what I mean? But I was going to start there and then branch out to other parts of the cultivation facility and learn other areas. Um, but it's just an idea that I have of a career path. The other one is that I wanted to work in a pet store. Um, but so anyway, back on track with what I was saying. Their notes were fraud, and she put in the notes he thinks he needs his medical marijuana card, and I was like, "Do you want to talk about human rights, lady? You never had a 302 order on him. He's been the best behaved patient. Okay, he has perfect compliance taking his medication, even though he has the legal right to refuse. And you guys are trying to tell him that he has to go to these other places like an LTSR to stay on his medication because they're using this as leverage. We think, and they know it's bullshit. They know I'm not that stupid. It's a tactic they're using. They're saying, we think you're going to stop your medication and start smoking marijuana. And I said to them, for one, I would never start smoking marijuana in a CRR group home knowing that it's a violation of the rules. I wouldn't want to break any of the rules in the place. So it was an insult to my intelligence, and they listen to this. They know that I'm not that stupid. They know that I would not actually do that. But they're using it as leverage. They're saying whatever they can say, and this goes along with the fraud tactics, just like she's saying. He has non-compliance with meds when he's not in structured places like this, and that's not true. I was going to outpatient on my own. Basically saying they do not want me to have a medical marijuana card. There was no issues with my medical marijuana card at all. None at all. I had a job until my car broke down. I was working, and then I went and got my medical marijuana card, and I was doing great with that. My father even said, the medical marijuana is the best that I've ever seen him. And I was doing great with that. I was actually using it to recover from psychiatry because cannabis and it sparks the creativity, and the psychiatric drugs do the opposite. They destroy creativity, they destroy your personality, they decrease your quality of life by making you less aware of your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And cannabis kind of brings you back from that and sparks creativity and stuff like that. And it's relaxing. It relaxes your entire body, and you can sleep good on it and stuff like that. And it has other medical benefits. And I'm not going to get into some of the stuff that I want to say, but I have to leave some of it out of a public video. But this paper that I had to go over triggered stress, looking at the type of fraud that they were writing on there, and saying there was a quote, a violent issue with his father. And that was fraud too. It was self-defense. I kicked him after he was smashing all my property and chasing me around the house with a baseball bat for 2 months. All my stuff that I had was destroyed. My air purifier was bashed. My laptop was smashed with a baseball bat. He killed my scorpions, batted their containers, then he put them outside in the wintertime. They were dead by the time I got home. He body slammed my leopard boa, my boa constrictor enclosure in the driveway the one day. He was chasing me around the house with a baseball bat, and I kicked him one day. After putting up with it and not doing anything about it for 2 months, I finally get up the courage to kick him back one day, and I'm the one that gets arrested. is if what I'm saying was put on the police report that my father was doing all this to me, and it was actually documented on the police report as my side of the story, my charges would have been dismissed at the first hearing. They didn't put any of that on my police report. So I was technically wrongfully detained. And then I've been going through mental health treatment because of my father's instability and my father's psychopathic behavior, basically. So I had to look at a paper. Now, if they would have been honest, and she said, and he doesn't take medication when he's not in these places, and he thinks he uses medical marijuana card, so an LTSR is more appropriate. And once I talked to her and I corrected her and told her, lady, that's not true. I was going to outpatient on my own. And I told her I have a legal cannabis prescription, and that's not up to the county or the state to decide whether I have a medical marijuana. They can't make medical decisions like that for me. If they legally, morally, or ethically can't do that. She told them that I will have the right. I have the chance to. That I'll have this chance to correct all of this when I have my interview with them. So apparently they're sending my LTSR application out that I signed, which the information they're going to look at is complete fraud. So when I have my interview with them, she said I'll have my opportunity to straighten it out. Now, if you want to get technical about it, if I wouldn't have signed the paper, I would have argued my point and said I want these notes corrected before I sign the paper. Guess what? An LTSR placement wouldn't even been necessary. They could send me straight to a CRR group home where I have more freedom. So they're purposely putting fraudulent notes on the forms to send out so I get accepted in these places, because if they were honest about it, I would go to a regular CRR and I would have more freedom. So they know what they're doing, and I just wanted to document all that information. Thanks for watching.